Jennifer Brown, How to Be an Inclusive Leader, Your Role in Creating Cultures of Belonging Where Everyone Can Thrive. In the quest for creating more equitable workplaces, Jennifer Brown's book, How to Be an Inclusive Leader, Your Role in Creating Cultures of Belonging Where Everyone Can Thrive, comes as a timely reminder on the importance of diversity and inclusion. The book discusses the glaring issues of underrepresentation and discrimination faced by various minority groups, focusing on the need for organizations to acknowledge and address these challenges. By providing a multi-step model, the Inclusive Leader Continuum, leaders can assess and develop their personal approach to inclusivity, ultimately creating a more diverse and inclusive work environment.
The diversity dilemma. The lack of diversity and inclusivity in most workplaces is still a sad reality. In 2014, only 3.3% of U.S. corporate senior managers were black men. Similarly, white men dominate publishing, conferences, and media interviews. Fortune 500 companies face a dismal 1.5% representation of black female senior managers. LGBTQ+ managers report a fear of being closeted at work. Honest conversations and proactive action towards creating an equitable work environment is the need of the hour to make people feel seen and heard in the workforce. Overcoming barriers at work. Discrimination in the workplace extends beyond sexual orientation and racial and ethnic identities, affecting individuals with different abilities and body types. Companies must seek to create a fair and inclusive workplace for all employees, including intersex, asexual, and allied individuals, and provide equal opportunities for personal and professional growth. Overcoming barriers requires a culture shift that prioritizes diversity, equity, and inclusion, creating a conducive space for all employees to thrive irrespective of their demographics or affiliations. The business case for diversity and inclusion. Companies that prioritize diversity and inclusion outperform their competitors with 28% higher revenue, doubled net income, and 30% higher profit margins. Failing to do so renders organizations uncompetitive as demographics shift, making inclusivity and diversity corporate imperatives. Younger generations increasingly demand inclusive workplaces, and those who feel excluded move on to more accepting companies. Inclusivity and diversity contribute to social cohesion and teamwork, fueling collaboration and an improved bottom line. Promoting equity reinforces the power of creative abrasion, enabling problem-solving and fresh ideas to thrive. Leaders' Guide to Inclusion. Organizations can no longer ignore the diversity problem. To become inclusivity leaders, executives should embrace a multi-step model called Inclusive Leader Continuum. This helps managers identify where their personal mindset stands on the non-inclusivity to inclusivity spectrum, enabling them to set goals for personal and organizational growth. Human potential is unleashed when employees feel a sense of belonging, and it's up to executives to create that environment. Moving past the best person for the job mentality, embracing inclusivity leads to a more equitable workplace. The Inclusive Leader Continuum helps leaders define their path to becoming inclusivity leaders. Tony Robbins and #MeToo, a lesson in inclusive leadership. The story of motivational speaker Tony Robbins' viral video, where he belittles #MeToo while physically intimidating a small female audience member, is an apt illustration of an individual stuck in the unaware stage of the inclusive leadership continuum. The snippet provides useful tips on moving from being unaware to aware. For instance, individuals with privilege can start by learning about the issues at the core of fighting discrimination, while genuine good intentions should translate to good actions. Moreover, equity, which means creating a level playing field, is not an idealized goal but an achievable one that promotes inclusivity and diversity. The power of awareness. Modern workplaces require diversity and inclusivity, and leaders need to be aware of their biases to achieve inclusivity. The well-written book summary illustrates that to enhance inclusivity, leaders need to take action, learn, and challenge their biases. Awareness is the key to creating an inclusive and diverse workplace. The workplace is not equitable, and inclusive leaders need to learn how to promote diversity. Modern leaders need to acknowledge their privilege and biases to achieve inclusivity and diversity. Leaders need to develop knowledge of all diversity dimensions concerning race, gender identity, ethnicity, sexual orientation, physical and mental ability, age, socioeconomic status/class, religion, political ideology, veteran status, citizenship, education, and appearance. To achieve inclusivity, leaders must understand the advantages of privilege and who does and does not have it. Despite biases that every human being suffers from, leaders need to challenge their prejudices and work on eradicating them. Daniel's story exemplifies the difference that inclusive leaders can make. A supervisor who did not share Daniel's background or life experiences offered tact, compassion, and an eagerness to help during his job transition, making all the difference for him. Therefore, inclusive leaders are instrumental in helping employees feel more welcome, included, and valued. Making your workplace more equitable. Striving for equity in the workplace requires getting out of your comfort zone, trying new things, and prioritizing inclusivity in diversity. Bria Sullivan, a Google software engineer, committed to helping 10 Black people get high-tech jobs and has already succeeded in getting 3 hired. To start making a difference, begin with small changes and be patient with the progress. Mentor and sponsor those who are different from you, and commit to continuously promoting inclusivity and diversity. Remember, leadership requires discomfort and dedication to the establishment of equity for everyone. Advancing equity advocacy. Richard Jeanneret, a vice chair and managing partner at EY, transitioned from unawareness to become an advocate for education, diversity, and inclusivity. In his book, he shares insights about advancing equity advocacy. As leaders become equity champions, they challenge the status quo, take risks and address inequality. They also create a fair and equitable workspace and make room for everyone's perspectives, including those who are excluded. To become an advocacy champion, it's important to figure out who is excluded and educate your colleagues about the pressing need for inclusivity. Lastly, expect resistance and negativity but remain resolute in your cause. The Inclusive Leadership Continuum. Devotion to inclusion and diversity is essential in advocating for equity, but acknowledging one's lack of knowledge on inclusivity needs for specific groups is also crucial. On this journey, represented by the Inclusive Leadership Continuum, one must rise above individualistic concerns and commit to the broader concerns of all humanity. Making a difference is possible by ensuring people in the company feel welcomed, valued, respected, and heard. Silence only solidifies the status quo, so staying motivated and not quitting is necessary.
Jennifer Brown's Imperative Guide on Creating a Fair, Just, and Inclusive Work Environment is essential reading for all leaders who want their organizations to thrive in a rapidly changing, diverse world. With the Inclusive Leader Continuum framework, executives can identify their current stage of inclusivity understanding and work through the 4 stages: unaware, aware, active, and advocate. By undertaking this journey, leaders can create a culture of belonging wherein everyone feels welcomed, valued, respected, and heard. Remember, progress may be slow, but by committing to inclusivity and diversity, you are paving the way for stronger teams, more collaboration, and improved business performance.